In a forgotten kingdom, a maiden named Elara was cursed to live a life of solitude, her heart shackled by the weight of her past. But when a mysterious stranger enters her life, a spark ignites, threatening to unravel the chains that bind her. Can love triumph over fate? Elara gazed out from her tower, longing for the outside world. Her curse had sealed her away, but her heart yearned for freedom and love. Every night she whispered dreams to the stars, hoping for a miracle to break her chains. One fateful evening, while exploring the woods near her castle, Elara stumbled upon a hidden grove. There, she found a handsome stranger named Kale, with eyes like the ocean and a spirit untamed. Their connection was instant, electric, and undeniable. Kale revealed he was a wanderer, seeking solace from the burdens of his own past. Intrigued by Alara's beauty and sorrow, he vowed to help her break free from her curse. They shared dreams and fears, forging a bond that transcended the barriers of their worlds. As days turned into weeks, Ilara and Kale met in secret, each meeting igniting a fire of hope within Alara's heart. Yet, the threat of her curse loomed over them, casting a shadow on their blossoming love. Every stolen moment felt like a fleeting dream. One evening, as twilight painted the sky, Kale brought Ilara a token, a silver locket that shimmered with magic. He believed it could hold the key to her freedom. But little did they know, powerful forces were watching, eager to keep Ilara bound. Ilara, filled with hope, clasped the locket around her neck. In that moment, she felt the weight of her curse begin to lift. But as she turned to Kale, a dark figure emerged from the shadows, warning them of dire consequences should they pursue their love. The figure revealed itself as a guardian of the curse, bound to protect its power at all costs. Ilara and Kale were warned that love could either break the chains or shatter their very souls. With hearts racing, they faced a choice that could change everything. Despite the warning, Ilara's heart surged with determination. She refused to let fear dictate her destiny. With Kale by her side, they resolved to confront the darkness that bound her, embarking on a perilous journey toward redemption. Their quest led them to ancient ruins, where whispers of forgotten magic echoed through the stones. Here, Ilara discovered the truth behind her curse, a powerful sorceress who had cursed her long ago out of jealousy and wrath. Ilara's anger surged, mingled with sorrow as she confronted the ghosts of her past. With Kale's unwavering support, she vowed to confront the sorceress and demand her freedom. Their love had become a weapon against the darkness. With the locket as their guide, they ventured deeper into the ruins, unveiling secrets of powerful spells and ancient artifacts. Each revelation brought them closer to the sorceress, but the challenges ahead loomed like thunderclouds on the horizon. As they neared the sorceress's lair, the air thickened with anticipation. Ilara could feel the power of her curse thrumming through her veins, urging her to turn back. But Kale's hand held firm, reminding her of their love's strength. Inside the lair, the sorceress awaited, her eyes gleaming with malice. Ilara stood her ground, refusing to be a victim any longer. The sorceress unleashed a storm of dark magic, but with Kale's love fueling her spirit, Ilara summoned her own light. The battle raged, a clash of destinies intertwining. Ilara's heart burned with love, countering the sorceress's darkness. In a moment of desperation, she grasped the locket, channeling its power into a blinding wave of light. The light enveloped the lair, and with a final scream, the sorceress's power shattered. Ilara felt the weight of her curse dissolve, her spirit soaring free for the first time. They had faced the darkness together, and love had prevailed. With her curse broken, Ilara emerged into the world anew. The once feared shadows of her past faded, replaced by the promise of a new beginning. She and Kale stood hand in hand, ready to embrace their destiny together. Their love story became legend, a tale of courage and redemption whispered through generations. Ilara and Kale inspired others to confront their own darkness, proving that love can indeed break the chains of the past. Years later, as they stood atop a hill overlooking the realm, Elara reflected on her journey. The girl who once felt lost had now found her place in the world, her heart intertwined with Kale's forever. The kingdom flourished under the light of their love, a beacon of hope for all who sought redemption. Elara often visited the grove where it all began, reminding herself of the power of love and the strength within. Though trials had forged them, their bond remained unbreakable. Elara and Kale knew that love would always guide them, lighting their path through both joy and sorrow. Together, they would face whatever the future held. In the end, love triumphed, proving that even the deepest curses can be shattered by the light of the heart. Elara's journey is a testament to the power of forgiveness, courage, and the unyielding spirit of love. As the tale of Elara and Kale is passed down through the ages, it reminds us all that no matter the chains we bear, love can set us free. What chains will you break in the name of love? As Elara stood at the edge of the moonlit forest, memories of her past flickered through her mind like ghosts. The weight of her curse pressed down on her, reminding her that every step towards Kale pulled her deeper into a world of danger. How could she seek love when it was intertwined with darkness? Yet, there was an undeniable spark that ignited her spirit, urging her to confront her fears. Determined to break free from the shackles of her past, Elara sought guidance from the ancient oracle, the keeper of forgotten secrets. The oracle's cryptic words echoed in her ears, warning her of the trials ahead. Only true love can cleanse the darkest of curses, she had said, leaving Elara with more questions than answers. With the oracle's prophecy ringing in her ears, Elara ventured back to the village, where Kale awaited her. Their eyes met, and for a fleeting moment, the world faded away. Yet, doubts clouded her heart. Would their love be enough to withstand the storm brewing on the horizon? As the days turned into nights, Elara's nightmares grew more vivid, haunted by visions of her curse manifesting. Shadows twisted and morphed, revealing the darkness that threatened to engulf her and Kale. She woke in terror, realizing that her fears weren't just dreams, they were warnings from the depths of her own soul. Determined to spare Kale from the burden of her curse, Elara made a painful decision. She resolved to distance herself, believing that her sacrifice would protect him. But as she turned away, tears streamed down her face, for love had woven their hearts together, making separation a heart-wrenching act. Kale, feeling the distance between them, embarked on a quest of his own. He sought out the most powerful sorceress in the land, desperate to find a way to break Elara's curse. His heart thundered with each step, fueled by love and determination to rescue her from the darkness. The sorceress, cloaked in ethereal light, listened intently as Kale poured out his heart. She warned him of the price. To save Elara, he would need to face his own fears and confront the shadows lurking within. Only then will the chains binding her spirit begin to unravel, she declared, leaving him with a heavy heart and an impossible choice. Back in the village, Elara felt the pain of their separation deepen. Memories of Kale flooded her thoughts, and she realized that love was a force stronger than any curse. With newfound resolve, she decided to confront her fears, believing that if she could face the darkness within, perhaps Kale wouldn't have to bear her burden alone. The night was thick with tension as Elara prepared for her confrontation with the shadows of her past. Clutching a pendant gifted by Kale, she whispered a vow to herself. She would not let fear dictate her fate. Instead, she would embrace love and fight for their future together. As she stepped into the hidden glade where her curse took root, Elara felt the darkness swirling around her like a storm. The shadows writhed and twisted, whispering her deepest insecurities. Each word was a dagger aimed at her heart, yet her love for Kale ignited a fierce light within her, pushing back the darkness. In the midst of the chaos, Elara called out to the shadows, demanding to confront the curse instead of running from it. The shadows laughed, taunting her with visions of failure and despair. But with each taunt, she held onto the image of Kale, their love becoming her shield against the darkness. Suddenly, the shadows began to morph, taking the shape of her past mistakes and regrets. Elara felt the weight of her guilt pulling her down. But she remembered the oracle's words, "Only true love can cleanse." In that moment, she embraced her imperfections, choosing to forgive herself and reclaim her power. As Elara embraced her flaws, the shadows shrieked in anguish, retreating from the light of her acceptance. She felt the chains of her past begin to loosen, each link breaking away. It was a painful yet liberating experience, as she shed the burden of guilt she had carried for so long. Meanwhile, Kale faced his own inner turmoil as he stood before the sorceress. He had been given a vision of Elara battling her darkness, and it filled him with dread. Her bravery inspired him, yet he feared for her safety. Would he be able to confront his own shadows and join her in this fight? Determined to support Elara, Kale took a deep breath and entered the shadows of his own past. Memories of loss and fear flooded his mind, but he remembered the love they shared. It became a powerful catalyst, igniting the strength he needed to confront the darkness lurking in his own heart. Elara's light grew stronger in the glade as she faced the remnants of her curse. The shadows began to dissolve under the radiance of her acceptance and love. She could feel Kale's presence drawing near, their hearts intertwined even in separation. Together, they could conquer this darkness. Suddenly, the ground trembled as Kale emerged from the shadows, his eyes filled with unwavering determination. Elara felt a surge of hope as he stood beside her, ready to face the remnants of their shared curse together. Their love had summoned the strength to confront the darkness that threatened to consume them both. Together, Elara and Kale joined hands, their love radiating like a beacon in the night. The remnants of the curse writhed in agony, unable to withstand the purity of their bond. With one powerful surge of love, they unleashed a wave of light that illuminated the darkened glade, casting away the shadows once and for all. As the darkness receded, Elara and Kale stood together, breathless and trembling. The chains that had once bound them fell away, revealing a path of freedom and healing. They had conquered their fears, and the love that had once seemed forbidden now felt like a blessing. Their redemption was at hand. But even in victory, the echoes of their past lingered. They knew the journey ahead would not be easy. Shadows could return, and new challenges awaited. Yet, they faced the future hand in hand, resolved to nurture their love and confront any darkness that threatened their happiness. With each passing day, Elara and Kale learned to embrace their scars, transforming their pain into strength. They became symbols of hope in their village, inspiring others to break free from their own chains. Through their love, they fostered a community united by shared struggles and dreams of redemption. As the seasons changed, their love blossomed like the flowers in spring. Elara and Kale continued to explore the depths of their relationship, facing life's adventures together. They understood that love was a journey, a series of challenges that would only strengthen their bond and propel them toward a brighter future together. Yet, the remnants of past curses still whispered in the wind, reminding them that vigilance was key. Elara and Kale resolved to protect their love with unwavering commitment. They sought out wisdom from those who had conquered their fears, building a legacy of resilience and understanding for generations to come. As they shared their tale, it resonated with many in the village. Elara and Kale became beacons of hope for those burdened by their own struggles. They showed that love could conquer the darkest of fears, and that true redemption lies in the courage to face oneself and embrace love unconditionally. As time went on, Elara discovered that her love for Kale had not only redeemed her, but had also transformed their community. Together, they organized gatherings to celebrate love and compassion, fostering connections that had long been dulled by fear. Their love was a catalyst for change, echoing through the hearts of many. Yet, as happiness flourished, a shadow stirred once more, a remnant of the old curse seeking to return. A figure from Elara's past re-emerged, determined to shatter the life they had built. Faced with this new threat, Elara and Kale knew they needed to confront their fears once again, fortified by their love and experiences. With courage ignited, Elara and Kale prepared to defend their love against this new darkness. They gathered their friends and allies, knowing that strength lies in unity. Together, they would confront the shadows of the past once and for all, proving that love could withstand any trial thrown their way. The confrontation was fierce, a battle of light against darkness. Elara and Kale fought not only for their love, but for everyone who had ever felt the weight of fear and despair. With each blow, they proved that love was not just a feeling, it was a force capable of carving pathways through the darkest of nights. As the battle raged on, Elara and Kale found themselves at the heart of the storm. Facing the figure from her past, Elara realized that this battle was not just external, but also an internal struggle. She needed to confront her past mistakes head-on to truly embrace the freedom they had fought for. In that pivotal moment, Elara summoned all the love she had for Kale and her community. She channeled that energy into a brilliant light, confronting her past with fierce resolve. The shadows trembled as her light pierced through the darkness, illuminating the truth that had long been hidden. As the light enveloped her past, Elara felt the chains of guilt break one last time. The figure before her disintegrated into the shadows, leaving only the power of her love behind. Kale joined her at that moment, their hands intertwined, knowing that together they could conquer anything. With the threat vanquished, Elara and Kale emerged victorious. The village celebrated their triumph, a testament to the resilience of love. They had faced their fears and emerged stronger, their bond deeper than ever. Yet they knew that love required constant nurturing and vigilance against the shadows of the past. Determined to keep the spirit of hope alive, Elara and Kale established a sanctuary for those struggling with their own burdens. Together, they became guiding lights for all seeking redemption, offering support and understanding, and ensuring that love's warmth would blanket their community for generations to come. As they nurtured their community, Elara and Kale found joy in the little moments. Laughter shared, dreams discussed, and lives transformed. They understood that the journey of love was not just about overcoming darkness, but also about embracing life's beauty and celebrating each moment together. Through their shared experiences, Elara and Kale learned the importance of vulnerability and openness. They faced each day with a commitment to communicate, ensuring that their love would continue to flourish. They had transformed their past pain into a foundation for a bright future filled with possibility. As years passed, their love story became a cherished tale in the village, one that inspired others to embrace their own journeys of redemption. Elara and Kale remained vigilant, knowing that while shadows might linger, their love was a beacon of hope for everyone. Their legacy was one of courage, acceptance, and the enduring power of love. In the twilight of their lives, Elara and Kale sat together, reflecting on their incredible journey. They had faced darkness and emerged victorious, united in love and purpose. As they looked into each other's eyes, they knew that every trial had shaped them into the people they had become, stronger, braver, and more in love than ever. In their final moments together, they shared a soft smile, grateful for the love they had cultivated. Elara whispered a promise, a vow that their love would live on in the hearts of those they had touched. And as they closed their eyes, they felt the warmth of their legacy wrapping around them, a comforting embrace in the twilight of their lives. And so, the tale of Elara and Kale lived on, echoing through the generations. Their story became a symbol of hope, teaching all who heard it that love, in its purest form, has the power to redeem us from our past, conquer our fears, and unite us in a journey of healing and joy. What will your love story inspire? As the sun dipped below the horizon, Elara felt a shift within her spirit. Whispers of the past crept back into her mind, reminding her of the chains she fought so hard to break. Could she truly escape the shadows that haunted her, or was she forever bound to her cursed lineage? Kale, sensing her turmoil, reached for her hand, grounding her amidst the chaos of her thoughts. He vowed silently to stand by her side, no matter the cost. Together, they ventured into the depths of the enchanted forest, seeking answers to the riddles of her past. The forest whispered secrets through the rustling leaves, guiding them deeper into its heart. Shadows danced around them, hinting at the challenges yet to come. Elara could feel the weight of her lineage pressing on her shoulders, a burden that threatened to crush her spirit. Suddenly, an eerie silence fell upon them, and a figure emerged from the darkness. It was the Guardian of Secrets, an ancient spirit bound to protect the forest's mysteries. Only those who confront their past can hope to forge a future, it intoned, its voice echoing between the trees. Elara's heart raced as the Guardian's words pierced her soul. She realized that to break free from her curse, she must face the very darkness she feared. Kale squeezed her hand tighter, a silent promise that they would confront whatever lay ahead together. Drawing courage from Kale's presence, Elara stepped forward, her voice steady as she asked, "What must I do to reclaim my destiny?" The Guardian's gaze softened, revealing a flicker of hope amidst the shadows. "Embrace the truth, no matter how painful." With those words, visions began to swirl around Elara, drawing her into a whirlwind of memories. Scenes of her ancestors unfolded before her eyes, revealing the dark legacy she had inherited. Each revelation was a piece of the puzzle that had long tormented her. Among the fragments, Elara spotted a recurring figure, a woman resembling her own features, bound by chains of sorrow. This was her great-grandmother, who had faced similar trials in a time long past. Understanding her pain was the key to breaking the curse. Elara's heart ached as she saw her ancestors' despair. Was it fate that bound us so? She wondered aloud, tears brimming in her eyes. Kale wiped away a tear, his voice firm. "No love can rewrite fate, Elara. We will change your story together." With renewed determination, Elara faced the Guardian once more. "I will confront my past, no matter the cost. I refuse to let it define me." The Guardian nodded, sensing her resolve. "Then your journey begins. Follow the light and trust your heart." As they moved deeper into the forest, the air grew thick with magic and uncertainty. The trees whispered warnings, their branches swaying as if to deter them. Yet, Elara pressed on, empowered by love and the promise of redemption. Finally, they reached a clearing illuminated by moonlight. In the center stood an ancient altar pulsating with energy. This was the heart of the forest, where the secrets of her lineage lay dormant, waiting to be awakened by her touch. Elara approached the altar, her heart pounding. As she placed her hands on its cool surface, visions flooded her mind once more. She saw both light and darkness intertwined, a reflection of her own struggle as she fought to break free from her fate. Suddenly, a voice echoed in the clearing, a malevolent force that had cursed her family. "You think love can save you?" It sneered, a dark presence looming over her. Elara felt a chill as doubt crept into her heart, challenging her newfound strength. Kale stepped forward, his voice steady and unwavering. "Love is the strongest magic there is. It can shatter any curse, no matter how powerful." Elara felt the warmth of his words enveloping her, reigniting the fire within her spirit. With renewed courage, Elara focused on the altar, channeling all her love for Kale into her hands. As the energy surged, the shadows began to wane, revealing the power of their bond. "Together, we can break the chains," she shouted, her voice ringing clear. The malevolent force roared in anger as Alara's light clashed against its darkness. Waves of energy erupted, causing the very ground to tremble beneath their feet. In that moment, she knew this was a battle for her very soul. "You will not win," Elara declared, her voice strong against the chaos. As she stood firm, Kale joined her side, their hands intertwined, a powerful symbol of their unity. Together, they radiated light that pierced the darkness surrounding them. With one final surge of energy, Elara unleashed her love, a brilliant wave that enveloped the clearing. The shadows shrieked as they dissolved, and the curse began to unravel. Hope surged within her. Could this truly be the end of her torment? But as the last traces of darkness faded, a new challenge arose. A vision of her family, lost and broken, flashed before Elara's eyes. "You may have defeated me, but your past will always haunt you," the voice echoed, reminding her of the scars that remained. Elara staggered back, the weight of that truth crashing down on her. "No, I will not let my past control me," she shouted, resolve igniting anew. Kale stepped closer, his unwavering presence a beacon of support as they faced this new challenge together. The Guardian of Secrets reappeared, its voice a soothing balm amidst the turmoil. "Your past is a part of you, but it does not define you. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it fuel your journey forward." Elara nodded, understanding the truth in those words. With a newfound clarity, Elara took a deep breath, allowing the memories of her family to weave into her identity. She would honor them, not as chains that bound her, but as the foundation upon which she would build her future with Kale. Kale watched, pride swelling in his heart. "Together, we will create a new legacy, one built on love and courage," he said, his voice steady and reassuring. Elara smiled, feeling the weight of her past lighten as hope blossomed within her. As dawn broke over the horizon, Elara and Kale stood hand in hand, ready to face whatever awaited them. The forest had transformed, its magic now a source of strength rather than fear. They had begun to forge a new path, together. But even as they stepped into the warmth of the sun, shadows lingered at the edges of the forest. Whispers of the curse still echoed in the depths, reminding them that their journey was far from over. Elara shivered, a sense of foreboding creeping back in. Determined to uncover the truth, Elara and Kale began to retrace her family's history. They sought out ancient texts and relics, hoping to find clues that would lead them to the source of the curse and the means to fully break it. Days turned into weeks as they delved deeper into the mysteries of Elara's lineage. Each discovery brought them closer, yet the shadows of the past loomed larger, challenging their love and resolve at every turn. One evening, as they studied an ancient scroll, Elara's breath caught in her throat. There, inscribed in faded ink, was a prophecy that spoke of a cursed maiden destined to face her ancestors' darkness. Was it truly her fate? "It speaks of a trial, one that will test the strength of her love," Kale said, reading over her shoulder. "It may be the key to breaking the curse completely. We must prepare for whatever lies ahead." With each passing day, anticipation grew. Elara trained her mind and heart, gathering strength for the trial ahead. Kale stood steadfast by her side, encouraging her to draw upon the love that had already proven so powerful. Finally, the day of the trial arrived, and both Elara and Kale felt the weight of destiny upon them. They stood before the altar once more, but this time with a deeper understanding of what lay at stake. Their love would be tested in unimaginable ways. As the sun began to set, a blinding light enveloped them. The Guardian appeared once more, its expression grave. "To break the curse, you must each face your greatest fear. Only through true sacrifice can you find your freedom." Alara's heart raced as the Guardian's words sank in. What would she have to sacrifice? She swallowed hard, knowing that the path ahead would be fraught with danger. But with Kale by her side, she felt she could face anything. Kale took a deep breath and spoke with unwavering resolve. "Whatever it is, I will face it with you, Elara. Our love has brought us this far. It will see us through the darkness ahead." His words filled her with courage. The air shimmered, and in an instant, they found themselves in different realms. Elara faced her past, where the memories of her ancestors haunted her, while Kale stood before visions of loss that threatened to consume him. Elara confronted her great-grandmother's sorrow, the weight of the curse palpable in the air. "I will not allow your pain to bind me," she declared with fierce conviction, her heart set on breaking the cycle. In the realm of shadows, Kale fought against the visions of his own loss. "I am not defined by my past," he shouted, pushing against the darkness that threatened to engulf him. Love was his shield, his heart ablaze with determination. The trials raged on, testing their spirits and resolve. Elara and Kale each drew strength from the love they had cultivated, the memories of their bond lighting the way through the darkness. They could feel each other's presence, a guiding force. With a final surge of strength, Elara shouted, "I choose love over fear." The world around her shattered, and the chains of her past began to dissolve. The spirits of her ancestors looked on, hope rekindled in their eyes. At that same moment, Kale roared, "And I choose you." With those words, the darkness enveloping him receded, revealing a path bathed in light. Together, they were breaking free, no longer shackled by their pasts. As they emerged from their trials, Alara and Kale found themselves reunited at the altar. The guardian stood before them, a smile gracing its face. "You have proven the strength of your love. The curse is broken, and your destinies are your own." Relief washed over them, but Alara knew the journey was just beginning. They had broken the curse, but the scars of their past still remained. Together, they would heal and build a future woven with love and strength. As they stepped into the dawn of their new lives, Elara smiled, feeling lighter than ever. They had rewritten their story, transforming pain into purpose. "Together, we can face anything," she whispered, echoing the promise of their love. And so, the tale of Alara and Kale continued, a testament to the power of love in overcoming the darkest of pasts. They embraced their future, united, ready to inspire generations to come. What will your love story inspire? Elara stood at the edge of the ancient forest, her heart racing with anticipation and fear. The whispers of the past echoed around her, reminding her of the curse that had bound her family for generations. Kale, sensing her turmoil, took her hand, grounding her in the present moment. Together, they prepared to confront the secrets that lay buried beneath the roots of the trees. As they ventured deeper, the atmosphere thickened with magic and danger. Legends spoke of a hidden relic that could break her family's curse, but it was guarded by a fierce spirit, a protector of the woods. Alara felt a mixture of dread and hope, torn between the desire for freedom and the fear of what lay ahead. Kale stepped closer to Alara, his voice a soothing balm against the uncertainty. "Whatever happens, I promise to protect you," he vowed, his eyes burning with fierce determination. Elara felt her heart swell at his words, knowing that their love was a force that could defy even the most formidable obstacles. Suddenly, the ground beneath them trembled, and the spirit appeared, a swirling mass of energy and light. "You seek to break the chains of your lineage," it boomed, its voice echoing through the trees. "But know this. The path to redemption is fraught with peril, and only those truly worthy may proceed." Alara stepped forward, her voice steady despite her pounding heart. "I accept the challenge," she declared, her determination shining through. "I am ready to face the truth of my past, no matter how painful it may be." Kale stood beside her, unwavering in his support, their hands intertwined as a symbol of their shared strength. The spirit's form shifted, revealing a path lined with glowing stones. "To find the relic, you must confront the trials of your ancestors," it warned. "Only through understanding their pain can you find your own freedom." Alara's heart sank as she realized the depth of the challenge ahead, but hope flickered within her. As they walked the path, memories of Alara's ancestors began to surface. Images of heartache, betrayal, and unfulfilled dreams. Each step resonated with the weight of their legacy. and Alara felt the burden of her family's history pressing down on her. But alongside the pain, there was a glimmer of courage, inherited from those who had fought for love. Suddenly, the ground shook violently, and a shadowy figure emerged from the shadows, a manifestation of Alara's greatest fears. It whispered her insecurities, reminding her of her cursed fate. Kale stepped in front of her, shielding her from the darkness. "You are not alone, Elara. We will face this together," he affirmed, his voice steady. Elara took a deep breath, summoning the strength she had discovered within. "You do not define me," she shouted at the shadow, her voice echoing through the forest. With each word, she felt the chains of her past loosening, the power of her defiance resonating in the air. The shadow hesitated, flickering as if unsure how to respond. Kale took a step closer to Alara, his presence bolstering her resolve. "You are the descendant of warriors, Alara. Stand tall and embrace who you are," he encouraged, instilling her with the courage needed to confront her fears. With renewed strength, Alara reached deep within herself and summoned a brilliant light. It erupted from her heart, illuminating the forest and casting the shadow away. "I choose love, I choose freedom," she declared, the echoes of her ancestors' courage amplifying her resolve. The spirit, observing the transformation, nodded in approval. "You have shown great courage, Elara. The path to redemption is clearer now, but it will test the bond you share with KL in ways you cannot yet imagine." Their future hung in the balance, filled with uncertainty and promise. As they moved onward, new trials awaited, each one more challenging than the last. They faced a labyrinth of memories, confronting the choices of their ancestors that had led to their curse. The air crackled with tension as Elara felt the weight of each decision pressing upon her. Within the labyrinth, they encountered a vision of Elara's mother, trapped in despair. "You must forgive me, my child," the apparition pleaded, revealing the mistakes that had sealed their fate. Alara's heart ached as she confronted the pain of her mother's sacrifices and the burden of forgiveness. "I forgive you," Alara whispered, her voice trembling but resolute. "Your choices do not define my path. I will break this curse for both of us." The labyrinth responded with a low rumble, shifting to reveal the next challenge, a testament to her growing strength and understanding. Emerging from the labyrinth, the couple found themselves facing a raging storm, a physical manifestation of their inner turmoil. Thunder roared and lightning flashed, but they held on to each other tightly, ready to face the tempest together. "Whatever comes, we will not let go," Kale vowed, his eyes locked on hers. The storm unleashed its fury, testing their resilience as they battled the elements. Each wave of wind seemed to whisper doubts and fears, but Alara stood firm, drawing strength from Kale's unwavering presence. Together, they became a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. Through the tempest, a faint light emerged in the distance, guiding them forward. "That must be the path to the relic," Kale shouted over the howling winds. With renewed determination, they pressed on, the storm serving as a crucible for their love, forging it stronger with each challenge they faced. As they approached the light, they found themselves at the entrance of a cave adorned with ancient symbols. The air shimmered with magic, and Alara felt a pull, as if the relic was calling to her. This was the moment of truth, where all their trials would converge. With one last glance at each other, they stepped into the cave, hand in hand. The darkness enveloped them, but Alara's heart was alight with hope. As they ventured deeper, they discovered the relic, a beautiful, glowing crystal pulsating with energy, echoing the power of their love. Elara reached out, fingers brushing the surface of the crystal, and a surge of memories flooded her mind. Visions of her ancestors, their struggles, and their victories. Each pulse of the crystal resonated with her spirit, reminding her that the past could be rewritten through love and courage. Kale watched her with pride as she embraced the legacy of her family. "You have the strength to change your story, Alara," he encouraged, his voice a steady anchor amidst the whirlwind of emotions. The power of the crystal pulsed, invigorating them both with hope and determination. Suddenly, the cave trembled and the crystal flickered ominously. It became clear that their journey was not over. The relic demanded a sacrifice to unleash its power. Alara and Kale exchanged worried glances, knowing that the choice they faced could alter everything. "What must we give?" Alara shouted, her voice echoing in the cave. The crystal responded with a vision revealing a glimpse of their future, one filled with love but marred by great sacrifice. They would need to let go of something precious to gain their freedom. Kale took a deep breath, understanding the weight of their choice. "If it means breaking the curse, then I would give anything for you," he stated firmly, his eyes filled with resolve. Alara admired his bravery, knowing the love they shared was worth any price. Alara's heart swelled with love, but a sense of dread washed over her. "No, Kale, I cannot let you sacrifice yourself for me," she responded fiercely. "We must find another way." Her voice echoed with defiance, refusing to let fear dictate their destiny. The crystal pulsed again, intensifying the pressure of their choice. A voice resonated from within, urging them to embrace love without limits. "True sacrifice comes from within," it echoed, making them realize that they could choose to let go of their fears instead. Alara and Kale locked eyes, understanding dawning upon them. They could release their burdens and fears, choosing to step into the light together. Stronger than ever. "Together, we can face anything," they whispered in unison, the power of their love uniting them as one. With newfound clarity, they approached the crystal and placed their hands upon it, channeling their love and intention. A brilliant light enveloped them, illuminating the cave and banishing the darkness. They felt the chains of their past shattering, freeing them to forge their own path. As the light subsided, they emerged from the cave, transformed and united. The storm had passed, leaving behind a tranquil landscape bathed in golden sunlight. Their hearts were lighter, and the weight of generations was lifted, allowing them to embrace a future filled with hope. In the distance, they spotted a village that had been shrouded in darkness for too long. Alara felt a pull to go there, knowing their journey was not just about freeing themselves, but also helping others break their own chains. "We can help them," she said, her voice filled with determination. As they approached the village, the air thick with sorrow and despair, Alara felt a sense of urgency. These people had suffered for too long under the weight of curses much like her own. She saw in their eyes the reflection of her past, and the desire to help ignited a fire within her. Upon entering the village, they were met with wary gazes and hushed whispers. Ilara knew she had to prove herself, to show the villagers that change was possible. "We come to help you break the chains of your curse," she declared, her voice ringing with conviction. The villagers murmured among themselves, skepticism mixing with a flicker of hope. Kale stepped forward, his presence reassuring. "Together, we can fight against the darkness that binds you. You are not alone in this," he promised, his voice deep and steady, resonating with their shared struggles. One elder stepped forward, her face lined with sorrow, but eyes bright with curiosity. "What do you propose, young ones?" she asked, her voice trembling. Alara felt the weight of this moment, understanding that their next words could ignite a spark of change or extinguish it altogether. Alara took a deep breath, recounting her own journey, the trials, the love, and the power of choice. "We found our freedom by confronting our past and choosing love over fear. You can do the same," she implored, her heart open and sincere, reaching for the villagers' trust. The villagers listened intently, absorbing her words as hope rekindled in their hearts. Elara could see the flickers of determination igniting within them, but doubt still lingered in the air. Kale stepped forward again, ready to bolster their courage. "We have faced our own darkness and emerged stronger," Kale reiterated. "Allow us to guide you, to lend you our strength. Together, We can rewrite your stories. His words resonated like a rallying cry, inspiring the villagers to see beyond their fears and into a future filled with possibility. Slowly, hands began to rise among the villagers, reaching out toward Elara and Kale. They felt the shift in the atmosphere, the collective decision to embrace hope and fight against the darkness. "We will join you in this fight," the elder proclaimed, her voice filled with newfound strength. With the villagers united, Elara and Kale began to craft a plan to confront the source of their curse, a dark entity that had plagued the village for centuries. The excitement in the air was palpable as they prepared to take the fight to the shadows that had long overshadowed their lives. As night fell, they gathered around a fire, sharing stories of past struggles and victories. Laughter mixed with tears as bonds were forged in the flickering glow. Alara realized that this community, like her, had the power to transform pain into strength through love and solidarity. The night deepened, and Elara felt a sense of belonging she had never known. With Kale by her side, they were no longer just fighting for themselves, but for an entire village. Their hearts beat as one, united in purpose, ready to face the darkness that had held them captive for too long. At dawn, with the first rays of sun illuminating the village, they set forth to confront the dark entity. Armed with courage and the love that had blossomed between them and their new allies, Elara and Kale led the charge, ready to reclaim their home from the clutches of despair. As they approached the heart of the darkness, a chilling wind swept through the air, swirling with malevolence. Shadows whispered their fears, trying to turn the villagers against one another. But Elara stood firm, rallying her newfound family. "We are stronger together," she shouted, her voice piercing through the gloom. The villagers rallied around her, empowered by her words, their fear transforming into a fierce resolve. Together, they pushed forward, light breaking through the darkness as they confronted the entity that had tormented them for generations. Their united hearts were a force to be reckoned with. As they faced the dark entity, a terrifying figure emerged, embodying their collective fears and sorrows. Elara felt a surge of determination, realizing that they would not only face the darkness, but also embrace the light within themselves. "We are not defined by our past," she shouted, her voice echoing with strength. The villagers joined hands, forming a circle around the dark entity, and Elara felt the energy of their unity building. Together, they channeled their love and hope, sending a wave of light crashing into the darkness. The entity shrieked, a cacophony of despair, as the power of their love began to prevail. The dark entity writhed under the onslaught of their combined strength, but it fought back fiercely, attempting to manipulate their fears. Elara felt the familiar twinge of doubt creep in, but she gripped Kale's hand tighter. "We won't let it win," she declared, her voice unwavering and fierce. With renewed fortitude, Elara focused on the love that had brought them this far. "Remember why we fight," she shouted to the villagers, recalling the bonds they had forged, the stories shared, and the hope ignited. The collective energy surged stronger than ever, pushing against the darkness. The light intensified, and the darkness roared in fury, but Elara and the villagers held firm. "Together, we can break these chains," she cried, her voice resonating with the power of their shared strength. The entity faltered, the bonds of despair beginning to unravel. With one final surge, they unleashed their combined love and hope, a brilliant wave crashing against the dark entity. In a blinding flash of light, the darkness shattered, dispersing into the air like ashes, leaving only the warmth of the sun in its wake. As the sunlight poured back into the village, the villagers erupted in cheers, embracing each other in joyous celebration. Elara and Kale stood together, their hearts swelling with pride and love, knowing they had not only reclaimed their destinies, but had also inspired a community. In the days that followed, the village thrived, filled with laughter, hope, and newfound strength. Elara and Kale took on roles as leaders, guiding the community toward a brighter future. Their love, once marred by tragedy, now blossomed in the light of their shared victories. Elara often found herself reflecting on their journey, the trials they had faced, and the love that had seen them through. It was a reminder that even the darkest pasts could lead to the most radiant futures, and that love had the power to heal even the deepest wounds. As she looked at Kale, she realized that their love was a testament to resilience and transformation. They had rewritten the story of their lives, turning pain into purpose and inspiring others to do the same. Our love can change the world, she whispered, and he nodded in agreement. One evening, as they sat by the fire with their friends, Elara proposed a new tradition, one that would celebrate their journey. Let us share our stories, our struggles, and our triumphs. This will be our way of reminding each other of the strength we hold, she declared, igniting enthusiasm among the villagers. The villagers embraced the idea wholeheartedly, recognizing the power of reflection and connection. Each story shared brought them closer, weaving a tapestry of unity and understanding. Ilara knew that their collective narratives were the threads that would hold the village together. As weeks turned into months, their village became a beacon of hope, drawing in those seeking solace and healing. Ilara and Kale welcomed newcomers with open arms, sharing their love story as a symbol of triumph over adversity. They became living legends in their own right. Through their leadership and love, Ilara and Kale transformed their village into a sanctuary where stories thrived and every voice mattered. They knew that by honoring the past, they had laid the foundation for a future brimming with possibility and joy. As twilight fell over the village, Ilara and Kale would often reflect on the journey that had brought them together. They had faced darkness and emerged into the light, their love a guiding star that illuminated the way for others. This is just the beginning, Kale said, squeezing her hand. Ilara smiled, feeling the warmth of his words. They had forged a new existence, not just for themselves, but for everyone in the village. The story of their love would continue to inspire generations, a legacy of hope for all who dared to dream and love without fear. In the heart of the village, the fire continued to burn, a symbol of their journey and the love that had transformed them. Alara and Kale knew that as long as their hearts beat together, they would always have the power to overcome any darkness that threatened to rise again. As night settled, Ilara and Kale would share stories with their children, passing on the lessons they had learned. Their laughter mingled with the crackling of the fire, a harmonious reminder that love was the greatest adventure of all, one that would echo through time. And so, the tale of Ilara and Kale continued, woven into the fabric of the village they had saved. Their love story became a beacon of light for all, a reminder that even the greatest challenges could be overcome through unity, courage, and love. In the end, it was not just a story of redemption, it was a legacy of hope. As the stars twinkled above, Ilara whispered a promise to Kale. No matter what comes, we will face it together. Their hearts beat in unison, a testament to their journey, a love that could conquer any shadow. And with that, their story would be told for generations, a celebration of love, courage, and the unbreakable bonds that unite us all.